always believed in live in the moment and make it so beautiful that it will be worth remembering and celebrating. Today we have amidst us a seasoned Toastmaster whom I have met only in my dreams. Triple DTM Nina John, ma'am, is amidst us to conduct an education session. And ma'am, believe me, it's a privilege to have you presented in our club today. Since I have met her on my dreams, I have a few personal information about her, which she shared. I would like to share it with you all. She is a corporate trainer and academician with extensive experience in diverse segments and the formal and non-formal sectors. Her sound academic credentials have enabled her to be a visiting faculty at various management schools and to be empaneled as a trainer with several blue chip companies. She is also a certified trainer for the University of Cambridge for the BEC and IELTS and other such exams. Currently a coach for CXOs for TEDx and other speeches, a well-known speaker herself. She has been judged at various speech contests, including the Speak UWay to Japan for over 10 years. As a Toastmaster, she was among those responsible for starting the movement in Chennai and increasing the number from 1 to the current 175 in Tamil Nadu. She has served as Director Governor in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, served as International Conference Chair, and achieved the highest award in Toastmasters of becoming Distinguished Toastmaster, not once, not twice, but thrice. She is a past the Governor, District 82, comprising of over 242 clubs in India and Sri Lanka. She is involved with several professional bodies and NGOs. She has been a member of several women's organizations and is a member of Cherry Blair Foundation for mentoring women and in business globally. As I mentioned earlier, this is just a few of the achievements which she has had so far. I'm sure there are a lot more already which she has achieved and yet to. Now, before inviting Triple DTM Nina John, I would like to share my thought that if you want others to look up to you as we do to ma'am during this, of course, lockdown period, I would request our host to mute all of us so that we can concentrate entirely on this education session which she is going to conduct, and the chat box also will be closed for some time. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand over the stage to our special guest, Triple DTM Nina John. Kindly help me in welcoming her.
Thank you so much to Chennai champions and all those who are here today from other clubs as well. It's a great honor to be here on any Milestone meeting, and I'm certainly looking forward to this session. I would request you to reserve your questions and answers till after it's over. I think that we'll have a little time for that after the main thing. But meanwhile, I'm going to go straight into the speech because I know that's what you're looking at. So there's this tiny microscopic atom of disaster that has spread its impact across the entire world. The panic of the pandemic has left all of us in a state of either paralysis or power. 4 months ago, nobody knew what COVID-19 was. Today, turn on your TV and you find experts, epidemiologists, virologists, environmentalists, wellness experts, fitness experts, social evangelists, creatures we never heard of before COVID-19 happened. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what the secret of lockdown or lookup is all about. Some people have gone into a cocoon, completely paralyzed by the idea of lockdown. I'm stuck in my home. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. There are others who are looking up and saying, hey, that's an opportunity for me. You know what? I know this about food. Let me start cooking. I know this about nutrition. Let me start touting Ayurvedic herbs, Ayurvedic foods, homeopathic medicines, whatever it is. So a little knowledge can go a long way in these days of social media. So I'm going to look at it from 3 different aspects. I'm looking at it from the point of view of the personal point of view. I'm also looking at it from the point of view of professionalism. I'm looking at it from the point of view of Toastmasters. So what are all of us actually concerned about? We're concerned about 2 or 3 different things. We're concerned about how do we actually, what are the life issues we talk about? We talk about self-development. We're talking about our own careers. We want a social life, especially under lockdown. Now everyone is like, oh, I must get out. I must have meals. And I never knew how important it was to just go walk down the road and have a masala dosa or just order from Swiggy. Now all those options are out. And especially for women, it's like, I have to cook all the time. And I really like the meme that said, we need face masks, not only outside, but inside the house to stop us from asking for more tea and coffee from our spouses. So that's one of the things that has happened. We are worried about our finances because this has changed the whole paradigm for so many of us. Health concerns for a lot of people. Family, for some people, it's a coming together of the family. But I'd like to make one point over here. If you have a stable family relationship, this is a great time for you all to be together. But if you haven't got a stable family relationship, this is one of the worst times to be together. Caged together morning, noon, and night can be very stressful. It can be very annoying, amongst other things. So we have to understand on what basis are we going to do this and how does it help? On the professional front, many of you would have seen n number of courses from Unacademy and other places telling you, or even public speaking courses. Join today. I will teach you the secrets of public speaking in 3 hours. Become a public speaker, orator overnight. Or learn Python, Java, whatever it is. This is also a good time for you to think about career planning. Now, it was Stephen Covey who spoke about the difference between the important and the urgent. Important is what happens in the long term. Urgent is, I have to get to the office today. I have to pack my lunch. I have to get my kid to school. I have to come back. I have to send off this, I have to meet this deadline. I have to send off something. So we're so busy with that narrow blinkered version of what I have to do today or tomorrow or next week. We don't think about career planning for the long term. For many people, I would suggest this is a good time to think about where do I want my career to go. Here, you will realize developing public speaking and presentation skills was important enough in the pre-COVID era. It is going to be crucial and critical. I'm saying that this is a great time for career planning because many of us are so busy with the day-to-day things of getting things done in the office, getting to the office, getting back from the office, looking after things. We don't think about the long term. There are many people who joined Toastmasters thinking that they're learning public speaking, and they found such a love for it, they've actually given up their software or other careers to become trainers. You know the example of Alexander Babu. He was a manager with Amazon, and he won the humorous contest at the division level, district level, and suddenly he found, okay, this is my niche in life. This is my passion in life. So this could be one of those things that help you change your entire career, the entire direction of where you want to go, and bring you forward. So think about it. Career planning, what are the things that you want? Think in terms of what do you have to know. Now, everybody wants to be a leader. I don't know why. It's like this description of our Indian cricket team. All captains, no players. So when you have that kind of a situation, you realize how important becoming a member of a team is. And it is not just membership. I would also say, I use the word followership. Being a follower to understand how the team works, how everything works, and how it comes forward and back. Then you become a member where you're contributing. So this is where, again, Toastmasters teaches you how to speak clearly, how to assert yourself in meetings, how to bring out the points that you have, and how to develop your point of view. And with our listening and evaluation skills, how do we understand the other person's point of view? So those are the portable skills that we have. Understanding the rules by becoming a good follower, being a contributing member by becoming a member that contributes, if I can use those words again. And only after you have earned your spurs do you become a leader. We all know of what we call parachute leaders, isn't it? Somebody suddenly becomes a division director with absolutely no experience of what Toastmasters is all about. And then people are like, he or she just doesn't know how Toastmasters works. What's the point? You have to be a club member. You have to be a Toastmaster part of the area for some time. Only then can you understand how to become a division director or a district director. There is no other way. There are no shortcuts. We need to understand, how do we do all of this? On the professional Toastmaster front, again, you will find that when you're a member of Toastmasters, you learn so many skills, you absorb so many skills, all of which are actually portable again to your workplace and your family life also. One Toastmaster told me, man, you saved my marriage. I said, what did I do? So she said, apparently at one of the speeches, I had said something about how you need to acknowledge, appreciate, and award people. She said, I'm doing that at home also. I said, what do you mean? So she said, I really didn't think much about my husband and all, but then I thought, let me apply this to my family life. And she finds that, when she acknowledged that her husband has done something for her or for the family out of the way, she's like, okay, I actually say the words out loud and say, thank you for doing that. And when she appreciates it and when she acknowledges it, that is a reward by itself. So when you do that, your whole family life becomes better. And then she says, that's the way it has to go. And when you do this, you realize that many things can be done in many different ways. So what you need to do is understand what are the portable skills from Toastmasters that can be taken to your professional life. What are the skills that can be taken back to your other life? So in many ways, your professional life and your Toastmasters life is a very synergistic kind of experience. What do you learn in Toastmasters in terms of teamwork, in terms of conflict management, in terms of negotiation skills? Just think how many of you from corporate clubs have to negotiate with the administration, with the top management, just to get a conference room on time every Saturday. Just think in terms of the conflict management that you have to deal with when members don't turn up, what do you have to do, because you are dealing with volunteers. So how do you get volunteers to come and do things when you have no formal authority? Learn how to do those, learn how to balance life, and you will realize just attending Toastmasters becomes an exercise in work-life balance. You learn what are your priorities. You learn what is important. You learn what is urgent. You learn what is your passion, what should I look at, what should I say no to. Most important, understanding what you should refuse and what you should take up. In many ways, if you go through the pathways projects, you'll find that dynamic coaching, coaching, leadership, negotiation, mentoring, all of these are skills that are taught to you or that you can practice in Toastmasters. So then what happens is you're able to practice this in a safe environment. And that gives you the chance to go back and practice. In fact, the little tip that I would like to give you is that your projects can actually be presented at your office and you can get credit for it. So presentation skills, all of these you can deliver at the office and you can get credit either through a fellow Toastmaster or you inform your VPE about what you're doing. So learn to apply the skills that you learn over here at your workplace. Then what happens is you also have this opportunity. You know there's a major client presentation. Deliver your speech at a Toastmasters meeting. Get your co-members to think in terms of what are the objections to this? What are the alternatives? Go back to your office fully prepared. You know, you have anticipated the objections. You know what can be done, what cannot be done. So understand how all of these work together and see how that works. As I said before, today there are so many different courses that are coming up. See what works for you, see what doesn't. I would suggest, and this is the advice that I give all those people who are taking up, the 2 manuals or different things. Take one manual or pathway from your comfort zone, one from out of it. Now, one of our Toastmasters, what she has done, she was a selfie queen, all right? Every other week you'll get pictures of her traveling all over the world and doing all kinds of things. Now she's stuck in the house. She started literally getting her husband to photograph whatever she was cooking. And right in the beginning, she had this joke where she said, you know, my husband says, now when I boil water also, I have to come with a camera and you're going to put that on Facebook. So it became a joke. Slowly, she started demonstrating these dishes. You will not believe it. In these 40 days, she has her own YouTube channel. She's got over 100 odd subscribers. She's well on the way to being a YouTube influencer, as we call it. And remember, it is also the Toastmaster skills that she has learned, how to present properly, how to deliver, present that recipe in a quick, crisp manner. So that it's like your table topics. So all she's doing is applying it to her cookery and recipe dishes. Prepared speeches. She knows what she has to deliver. She's prepared the entire thing, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is. Questions, for evaluation, what is the feedback and how do you deal with it? So all of these, she has taken her skills from here and taken it over there. In fact, I think DTM Muller will, if I may use her example, will tell us all about how 5 years ago, she said she was just a housewife watching serials in the afternoon. Today, she is diversified, into different businesses, and she can proudly say that she's a businesswoman of her own. Now, those are simply because Toastmasters teaches you how to work and network with others. The same thing happens when you're asking, so what else does Toastmasters do? Today, we are going online. Literally like it happened at the beginning of the ITES revolution. There was a statement that said, geography is now history, which meant that distance was not a problem. Today, in some ways, we are confined to our homes, but in so many ways, we have spread our wings as Toastmasters. And those of you who are taking that initiative to organize meetings, Chennai Toastmasters, we had a meeting between Mauritius Toastmasters, Colombo Ochusa Toastmasters, and Chennai Toastmasters. I did an educational session at Nepal Toastmasters. I also participated in a panel discussion, which was part of somebody's Pathways project. We had all district directors, regional advisors, all of those, beautiful discussion on club building. So people who take that initiative, people who are proactive, people who think out of the box, these are the people companies are going to look for. You are the people who have opportunities. So don't look at lock up and lockdown and think in terms of I'm confined. Think of it as a way to let your imagination grow, let your skills grow, and decide what you want to do. There are so many different ways in which you can grow as a person. Learn something in your area of professional domain expertise if you think that will help you in your career. Learn something in terms of networking, because what we're doing now is networking, and it's a great thing to keep in touch with other people. Don't have all goody very learning things to have. To go in for something fun. Learn how to make origami birds. Learn how to do drawing, doodling. Learn how to grow bonsai pots. Learn karate online. There's a lot of things that are happening. So decide what you want to do. It's literally balancing your right brain and your left brain. So enjoy yourself. Don't have something that confines you to one particular thing and you want to be an expert only in this. In fact, this has been the problem with our educational system. We tell people, if you don't get 100% and if you don't get 98% and get into IIT, family honor is gone. And none of us are here in IIT, and all of us have great lives without IIT or IIM or any of those things. Learn to blossom by yourself. Use this for opportunities. And one more thing I would say, family and relationships again. Pick up the telephone and call your friends, call your family, call your relatives. There are people with problems. There are people without problems. Ring up your friends instead of just sending one heart on Facebook and saying happy birthday. Call up your friends. And I find I've been doing that very often. And ringing up old friends is such fun. I mean, I rang up a friend of mine and we were talking about school and what happened 20 years ago and 30 years ago, and we had a great time catching up. It helps to build up relationships. It helps you emotionally. It helps stabilize you also. So understand. One more thing that I would recommend is that of travel. A lot of people have a global network. You need to travel. Understand the local culture, etiquette, even learn the language. Chennai by itself was a place where you could learn just about any language under the sun. And now you'll find that there are even more opportunities. There's all these language things are there in Chennai. There's Russian, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, German, French. All the headquarters are here in Chennai itself. Go over there and learn it. Learn online classes. Whatever you think is slightly will give you a professional edge. That helps a lot, because when you are interacting, see, a very nice quote that I have from Azim Premji. He said, once we had all just to compete with one another, but your generation has to compete globally. And that's a very important point to remember. Sarthi said he's a global manager. You have to deal with people of so many different nationalities. When you have a Toastmasters meeting where you're meeting on a peer level, you'll find that that helps you when you're dealing with clients. It helps you when you're dealing with team members. It helps you in so many different ways. Everybody loves other people speaking their language. Language can be both a bridge and a barrier. Make it a bridge. Learn how to speak the other people's language, and you will find friends for life. Learn all of these things and see how that works. And you'll find that there's a whole new world coming up. You no longer have to think in terms of here I am locked down. And this is what somebody said. Places of worship, that is your temples and churches, are all closed. But there's more worship going on inside the house than there was ever before. So think in terms of how has this affected you? Do a SWOT analysis for yourself. What have I achieved so far? Do I have any major goals that I want to reach? I want to climb Mount Everest before I'm 30 or 5 years from now. Start practicing for it. Do what you have to do for it. Decide what you want to do and go for it. Do you want to open your own restaurant? Do you want to start a NGO for that gives, sundry napkins for transgenders and other people? It doesn't matter what you want to do. Set yourself a goal and go for it. There are opportunities out there, and this is the only time you can actually sit and plan. You can think in terms of, is it for myself? Is it for the others? Is it for my family? Is it for the community? Bring them all together and you'll find that things really and truly work. And that's what I would suggest for all of you. Balance all these three priorities together: your personal life, your Toastmaster life, and your professional life. You'll find that they all come together and they'll be really, really useful. On an ending note, let me tell you, let me give you a progress chart of what has happened to me during this lockdown. I've learned how to make chapatis that are almost round. Earlier they were the shape of India. Now they've reached Eurasia. So maybe in another couple of months, I'll learn how to make round chapatis. I'm setting up, I already had online coaching. Now it's going to be a little bit more focused and a little more organized. In terms of pathways, I've decided I will go for pathways and register for that. So on all three fronts, something is happening. On many fronts like this, where there are more opportunities to network across all the Toastmasters, I find that there's both professional and Toastmasters opportunities coming up. So that's my message for all of you. I think, I'm not sure about the time. I didn't hear anything happening, but I think my time is up. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you for inviting me. And I hope you treat this period as a period of look up, look around you, look forward to the future. Don't just say this is lockdown. There is more to life than that. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Nina ma'am. It was a brilliant session. When I first visited Egmore Toastmasters Club in 2014, the first session I seen is your session, ma'am. Not only in Toastmasters, outside Toastmasters also I seen you in BMI, Chennai chapters and various places. Really, it is a fantastic, superb session. Thank you very much.